Hey everybody, it's Kris from Retzone. Got another video here for you. So, because it's been so cold and constant snow here, and there's nothing else much to do, I was just putting around Facebook Marketplace and I came across this cheap, broken, fat PS3. This is the 2nd gen PS3 that doesn't have the additional hardware in it, and it was cheap and the guy said it was broken. He suspected a bad hard drive. So I went and grabbed it, and I figured I would do a video on how to swap the hard drive on a fat PS3. Kind of a follow-up to my SSD swap in my PS3 Slim. So let's have a quick tour here. So this is the 2nd gen fat. So it only has 2 USBs on the front. It doesn't have the multi-memory card reader, that's been removed. Although this does feel like it could open. But no, there's nothing under there. There is some minor damage. There's some light scratching on the top. There's a little bit of damage here. It's kind of scratched here. I got to do a detail on this. There's a bunch of dirt embedded in here. There is some light scratching here. I have some modeling files. I'll see if I can try and smooth that out a little bit. It looks very clean. I don't see any dirt embedded in any of the vents here. On the back here, all the ports look good. Again, I don't see any real dust buildup. And if I hold this up to the light, I can kind of see the heatsink, and I don't see any dirt in there. And the fan, I can see the impeller of the fan, and it's clean as a whistle. So I wonder if the person who bought this cleaned it and then realized it didn't work properly. Power looks good, switch feels really nice. On the side here, you can see that the hard drive cover is missing. I will be replacing that. So let's see what kind of drive we have in here. Okay, so we have a Fujitsu 160 gig hard drive. I'm actually surprised. Usually if I see a dead laptop hard drive, it's usually a Toshiba. I like to call them Torchibas. So let's put this back in here. So what we'll do is we'll hook this up, we'll fire it up, and we'll see what the error message is that it gives us. Okay, we got the PS3 hooked up here. Let's fire it up and see what happens. Okay, we've got a red light, good start. Let's see what we get. Oh, fan sounds healthy, don't hear any grinding or ticking or anything. Okay, my USB cable. So immediately it's gone into recovery mode, so that's why we need the cable. The system software cannot be run correctly. Press the PS button to try and restart the system. Okay, I don't think that is going to do anything. Okay. Okay, so let me have a listen here. Well, this hard drive could be completely dead because I don't see any activity or anything. It's not even making the usual ticking noises or any unusual ticking noises. So let's swap out the hard drive and get this guy going. Okay, so I've got the replacement hard drive here. So the drive in here is a 5400 RPM 160 gig hard drive. I'm going to be replacing it with a 320 7200 RPM drive I have kicking around. So let's just pull this out here. There's 4 screws, 2 on each side. So hopefully going from a 5400 RPM to a 7200 RPM will give us a bit of a speed increase. Not much, but any little bit helps. So this only has a 3 gigabit SATA interface, so going any faster probably won't do anything. So okay, so we got the new drive here. We're just going to insert it. Make sure it's snug in there. Okay, so let's fire this up and see what it tells us this time. I have the latest firmware, which is 4.88, I believe, for the PS3. I downloaded. You just Google it and you can download it from Sony's website. So what you do is you format this as a FAT32 stick. I usually like to use between 8 and 16 gigabytes. They seem to work the best. If you don't have the right results, you might have to try a different USB drive. I went through that on the PS3 Slim where it didn't like the first drive I used, so I went and grabbed another one and it worked fine. So you create a folder on the drive called PS3, and then underneath that you create a folder called Update, all in caps, and then you dump the update in there, and it should see it when you have it plugged in. So let's first see what it tells us here. Oh, helps if I turn it on first. Derp. And you will have to use a USB cable with a controller because it's in recovery mode. At least I call it recovery mode. I don't know what Sony calls it. Okay, we're gonna hit the PS button. Okay, I'm gonna insert the USB stick. I like to use a USB stick that has an access light so you can actually see if anything is happening. Okay, start and select. Okay, we got activity here, so that's a good sign. But we'll just let it churn away here for a minute. It's probably gonna check the integrity of the update. Okay, the system partition of the system storage will be formatted. Blah, blah, blah. All your data will be deleted. Blah, blah, blah. Back up your stuff. And it says hold start and select for 5 seconds. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, we got hard drive activity here. It's going pretty quick. The blinking of the USB drive is quite hypnotic. 100%. Seems like it's rebooting. All right. It says use the wireless controller. So I'm gonna unhook the cable here. See what we get. Yeah, I am connected. So now it's gonna apply the 4.88 update onto the new hard drive. Here we go. I accept, and away we go. 4.88 is being installed onto the new hard drive. Okay, I think we're rebooting now. That didn't actually take very long at all. Now we gotta use the cable one more time. And we're into the basic setup here. I think it's the 16th today. You know, with all this COVID crap, I don't know, each day feels the same. No, it's actually later than that. Yeah. Oh God, it's got this horrible, oh, I hate this thing. We have been so spoiled by smartphones. This feels, oh, that's not what I want. This is painful. All right, I'll just cancel that because I don't want everybody to see my wireless information. There we go. I have a totally functioning, super cheap, second gen PS3 FAT. So I have some games here. I don't need this anymore, so I'm just gonna get that off the screen here. I'm gonna unhook you because we don't need you anymore. Okay, so I picked a few games here to try out. So I got Crash Bandicoot Warped. I don't know if this lenticular thing is coming through on the camera. PS2, Katamari Damacy, one of my one of my all-time favorite games. And the follow-up, well, I guess the fourth follow-up if you count the PSP version of Katamari Forever for the PS3. So, the first thing we'll do is we'll see if this boots up. I'm not gonna play it, I'm just gonna make sure it boots. All right, PlayStation 4 Mad Disk. Okay, so it's gonna get me to create a memory card. Yeah, that's fine. Wait, okay. Go. Okay. I'm gonna add another one for the PS2. Okay. I don't know how to assign it. Assign slots here. I'm gonna throw it in slot 2. Okay, I'm gonna fire up here. Let's see what we get here. I don't know how loud this is. Oh yeah.
Sony Computer Entertainment America.
Yes. It boots games. Well, PS1 games.
A Universal Interactive Studios production.
Let me turn this down just a little bit.
Created and developed by Naughty Dog.
Good old Naughty Dog. All right. Okay, I'm going to quit the game. Okay, next game we'll do a PS2 game. Now here's the question. Does the second gen FAT play PS2 games? I've been told it might through software emulation, and I've been told it might not. Because this generation doesn't contain the PS2 chipset, unlike the first generation FAT, which I also have. There we go. Model of the PS3 is not compatible with PlayStation 2 format. Okay, so we know now that this does not play PlayStation 2 games. Unfortunately. Okay. So let's try a PS3 game. There we go. See how much hot air is coming out the back here. Oh, a little bit. I know my other one probably needs a cleaning because I can see the vents are all clogged up. So maybe I'll do a PS3 FAT cleaning on video. I love this game. I could listen to that all day. All right. So. I successfully... I'm having trouble talking today. I have successfully removed the bad hard drive, replaced it with a good used hard drive. And replaced it with a good used hard drive and resurrected this cheap fat PS3. So what I'll do is I have actually 3D printed a temporary cover for the hard drive. And then what I will do is go online and see if I can get a aftermarket replacement for it, because it's quite ugly. Very ugly. So just to recap, you can put an SSD in here. I don't think it's worth it. There's also the SSHDs. I don't see any performance difference between those and a regular platter hard drive. So I would just pick up a used platter hard drive. And then you have to download the PlayStation firmware onto your USB stick under a PS3 folder, and then underneath that folder, a update in all caps folder, and then you put the update in there. And then when you swap the hard drive, you will need a controller and a USB cable, and it will prompt you to insert a storage device. I think you can also use USB hard drives. Now, I haven't tried that myself, but it should see those as well. But I believe it would have to be FAT32, not NTFS and not EXFAT. It would have to be a FAT32 USB drive. So I just stick with thumb drives because the update is literally like 200 megabytes. So it prompts you, if it finds the update on the stick, it then formats the drive internally. It'll reboot the system, and then it will install the firmware. No, it's not really firmware. It's not really an operating, well, I guess it's an operating system. Well, let's just call it the PS3 system software onto the PS3. And as long as that's your only problem, then boom, you have a working fat PS3. And it's nice that people ditch these really cheap. Now, I don't know if these ones suffer from the yellow light of death like the first gen fats did. And I do know that these drives have a tendency to die, so maybe this one's built slightly better because it's a second gen. Unfortunately, it does not do PS2. I like my other fat because I can do PS1 and PS2 games over HDMI to my TV, and I love it. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more great content from retzone.ca, and we'll see you in the next video.